Hey there, modern backpackers. Are you currently an American working online and considered the idea of working remotely from a different country? In this video, I will share with you my first-hand experience obtaining Mexico temporary residency, including all the mistakes I made that you should learn from. Since this is a very long process, I will separate this video into two parts. This video will be the part you do in your home country. In my case, that would be the United States. But before we get started, if you find this video informative and entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. By joining the modern backpacker community, you'll never miss out on future episodes and helpful tips for your own expat ventures. And if you have any questions or experiences to share, feel free to leave a comment below. Your engagement and support mean the world to me. The first question we have to answer is, do I even have to get a Mexico temporary residency? I thought that Americans can stay in the Mexico every 180 days, so I can just make border runs every 6 months or so. The main reason why I chose to obtain a Mexico temporary residency is due to the fact that Mexico is starting to get stricter with tourists trying to play the 180-day benefit by doing border runs. I have heard stories from other expats from different expat Facebook groups that border patrol agents are actually stamping your passports for much less than 180 days. I have even heard of some expats only given a week. Another reason why obtaining a temporary residency is a good idea is the fact that if you choose to, you could open a Mexican bank account. Now, I personally have lived in Mexico for over 3 years and have never used this benefit since I have a United States bank where I can withdraw money without any fees, but it's a nice benefit to have. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the actual details of how you can obtain the residency. The first part, which we'll cover in this video, has to be done in your own country outside of Mexico. In my case, I was able to find an appointment and perform the first part of the residency process in Laredo, Texas. Afterwards, you will receive a visa stamped directly in your United States passport. It covers most of the passport page. Once you obtain this visa stamp, you will have 180 days to enter Mexico and continue the residency process, or the visa will expire. Now let's talk about all the requirements and things you need to apply for the visa through economic solvency. Note that there are different ways to apply for the visa, such as if you are married to a Mexican wife, but the economic solvency option is the most common one for expats, so we will talk about that. First, let's focus on economic solvency, which basically means that the Mexican consulate has a specific threshold of how much income or savings you need to have before they grant you visa and later residency. For single applicants, you will need to show roughly $3,000 per month of income and provide the last 12 months of bank statements proving that. Another route is showing your savings and investment accounts, which needs to be a total of $55,000 over the past 12 months. Now, if you are married, you can either apply separately or choose the dependent option. If you were to add your wife as your dependent in the application, you will need to add roughly $1,000 to the income threshold. So for married couples, you will need to show proof of income through bank statements of roughly $4,000 per month. Note that each Mexican consulate may vary in their numbers, so I would double-check your specific consulate for their exact figures. For temporary residency, you will get a 1-year permit to live in Mexico, and you are able to renew the temporary residency status again for 3 years. Once you obtain temporary residency and show that you have had Mexican residency for 4 years, then you can now apply for permanent residency. Note that you do not have to stay in Mexico all 4 years to apply. You can go in and out of the country and still qualify. If you want to apply for a permanent residency and skip the temporary residency process, then the figures will be much higher. You will need to show income of roughly $5,500 per month over the past 12 months, or show investment/savings totaling $218,000. Again, you will have to show the statements over the last 12 months. Similar to the temporary residency one, just add around $1,000 or $6,500 for couples that want to apply for permanent residency. Okay, so now I will walk you through the process of setting up an appointment in your consulate. I will leave a link in the description below. You will need to create an account. For services, I would pick Oficinas Consulares. For country, select Estados Unidos for America. For my state, that would be Texas. My default office that I chose is Laredo. For country of birth, you can select Estados Unidos again if you were born there. Finally, for nationality, you can select estadounidense if you are an American. The rest is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you put your name in the application exactly as it appears in your United States passport. Once you register, you will need to check the email you provided to verify your account. After receiving the email, select the consulate you want. In my case, that would be Laredo. Put in your basic information such as the name as it appears in your United States passport and your place of birth. It will ask you the question, has the applicant already obtained passport and/or consular registration previously? For this, select No and hit Continue. For procedures, make sure you select Visa. Your consulate may deny you entry if you select the wrong reason, so be careful. For procedure type, select Sin Permiso del INEM and Residente Temporal for the sub-procedure. Note that if you are going for the permanent resident route, then select Resident Permanente. For the next set of questions, make sure if this applies to you. I selected both No in my case. Next, type in your address in your home country as well as your emergency contact. After this step, you can finally see the calendar of when this specific office you chose is available. Select the date and time of your choice. That's it. You now have an appointment date. Just make sure you download the appointment confirmation and bring this to your appointment. Okay, now, let's create a checklist of everything you need to bring to your visa appointment. First thing you need will be the visa application. If you are applying as a couple, then each of you will have to fill one out. Also bring a copy of this application form filled out to the appointment. For occupation, even if you are working remotely for an employer, I will just say that you are independent and making money online. That way, you will not need permission from your employer, and you will be able to keep it a secret from your employer that you are working online in Mexico. That is exactly what I did. The second thing you will need is your U.S. passport. One for you and your partner if applicable. Also, make sure you bring photocopies of the front page of the passport. The third thing you will need is a passport photo, but specific to the Mexican consulate requirements, which is unfortunately different than the standard United States passport size. For Mexico, you will need 39 millimeters by 31 millimeters. The fourth thing you will need is $48 in cash for you and your partner if applicable. Again, make sure you check your specific consulate for their exact fee. For married couple, you will also need to bring an apostilled copy of your marriage certificate. In conclusion, obtaining a Mexico temporary residency can be a beneficial option for American digital nomads looking to work remotely from Mexico. The process involves several steps, and it is important to be well prepared and informed to avoid any mistakes. By obtaining temporary residency, you can avoid potential issues that may arise from frequent border runs and enjoy the added benefits, such as the possibility of opening a Mexican bank account. I hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and guidance for obtaining a Mexico temporary residency. By sharing my first-hand experience and highlighting the mistakes to avoid, I aim to help you navigate this process more smoothly. Don't forget to subscribe to the Modern Backpacker community for future episodes and helpful tips on your own expat ventures. If you have any questions or experiences to share, feel free to leave a comment below. Your engagement and support are greatly appreciated.